Wait.
Oh, it's over here now.
Which
Cheers.
is so fucking good.
Our intro vid, I love it.
Oh.
All our drunk moments. Here, but let's get some of this action going.
The fact that in that video there's not us all listening to Neff puke back there and going, "Oh," you know that. That takes me out of it just a little. I think that was a very important part of the history of this show.
Dude, it's weird being on this side of the couch. I don't know if I like it or not. Yeah. You're still kind of in the center.
A little bit.
Tonight we're drinking both Hydra beers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This past weekend we all made the journey up to Sioux Falls and hung out at Hydra Brewing Company.
We have 100 IBU IPA.
Yeah, this is the Eden. Yeah, this is right off their tap. This is 100 IBU Eden IPA. I believe it's Citra hops. 7.2% alcohol.
Is this the one that's Citra?
I think this is the Citra one. If Derek joins in and lends us...
one of them we had Cascade, Centennial, and...
I think this is the Citra one. That was the sister beer, the Lena.
Yep.
Or something like that. And we reviewed that one Sunday.
That one was the more floral. This one's the more bitter.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yep.
I think.
Jason would agree at the moment because he's over here making
this
all these...
This thing's got a bite to it. It's not bad for an IPA, but it's got a bite.
What's up, Seth?
Also, I've noticed, and it happened immediately, when you're sitting in that position, it might not... I think it's that position. You took charge. Bam! Hey, we're doing the show. Let's do this. This is what's going on.
Oh, shit.
It might be that spot, man.
You guys were just sitting over there with your dicks in your hand.
Command chair.
Not saying a word, so I had to just, grab it by the horn.
If we had dicks in our hand, you'd be drooling. So there's no way that happened.
Yeah. This is how it happens, guys. What's up, Wilcom?
What's up, Florida?
Oh, man. Florida. Why? Florida's like a warm, open-air prison.
Did you drive?
Is Seth from...
I think he's in Sioux Falls.
Sioux Falls? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's saying the Eden's the best. Mm-hmm. Fresh off the tap, a day and a half old right here.
It is day and a half.
Yeah, they poured this yesterday. Sunday at 1:30.
Did they actually put 1:30 on there, or you just remember?
I remember it, yeah. 1:30, yeah, because we left at 1:50 after we did the quick review of those that flight of beers, and then had that quick tour and the quick photo op.
Dude, so I'm gonna be real here. I've been craving that fucking milkshake IPA. I was sitting in my office today. I was like, God damn, it sounds delicious. That sounds so fucking good. But then on the same note, I was sitting in my office and I was like, I can still taste the bitterness of that black currant from the
he works at Hydra.
I was like, oh man.
I'm not towing my asshole. I mean,
whoever sits in that seat's always blurry.
Actually, we all kind of are this evening, but he is bam. Oh, well, actually, I'm looking down here, this one. But up here, this isn't bad. This isn't. It looks like...
Whoa, flew into and out of the hurricane. That's kind of crazy.
Man.
Cool. That.
What part of Florida? That's where I grew up in Florida, on the East Coast. Right next to Satellite Beach.
Tate is Florida, man.
I like our Brews Bros green color. That's pretty cool.
It's nice.
I like that you change the shade each week too.
Yeah, it's every couple weeks.
I'm trying to remember what website we get the Facebook chat off of.
Ooh, that's a great question. I have no fucking clue.
Twitch one. Twitch alerts or some shit.
I'm not sure.
If you start typing it, maybe it'll come in. Maybe it won't.
Shout out to Derek, actually, in Sioux Falls. I was surprised by how tall you were. And also surprised by your big, awesome smile. Talk about cool guy.
It was awesome.
Yeah, he is an asset to Hydra, too. He's...
You got us to buy like $600 worth of beer this week.
Yeah, he sure did. But, I mean, he was there with us every step of the way.
Dude, that's what he should do for a fucking living, is just...
Take people out and drink.
Sioux Falls tour. All right, we're going to do a brewery tour. We're going to go get fucking hammered. Then I'm going to load you guys up on meat. Mm-hmm. Go home. No, all right, man. Sounds good.
Bud was really cool, too.
He was a blast. I mean, it was great having him. I felt like there was a little bit of tension and I don't know why. I was like, is it weird because we're at Hydra and you don't work for Hydra anymore? I hope that's not the case.
Well, I think they were saying that there was a little bit of weirdness when it first happened, but they all loved each other so much to where it didn't matter. But I arrived after everybody else. These guys got down there Friday night or Friday afternoon, and I didn't get down there till midnight on Friday. And I showed up and they're lit, and I had to drive their asses home.
Derek is shot. I bet he's got to be exhausted. He was doing everything all weekend.
Oh yeah,
everywhere.
Yeah, Derek. Not only did we go out to Carnival and have the Brazilian meat experience, but then Sunday morning we went to Granite City for their buffet their buffet breakfast. And I watched Derek down these French toast with chocolate chips and Oreos with maple syrup.
Hey, and I was like, French toast.
Damn, that looked good. But I was still so full from the previous day that I didn't even.
Fucking for real. It was your goddamn wife was the whole reason we went. Because she's like, hey, let's go to this all-you-can-eat place, and I'm going to have a biscuit and part of a salad. And can I have a water? Oh, fuck. Why am I here then? And then 20 minutes later, she's eating ice cream. Then 20 minutes later, she's eating pizza. I'm like, I can't fucking move. I can barely breathe. What are you doing? Hey, bud.
Oh, yo, what's up, bud?
We gotta see that guy this week.
We were just singing your praises.
Yes. And Tate was like, I wonder how many shrimp Bud can eat. And I was like, I think he was telling the story.
I watched him eat a bunch of shrimp.
Yeah.
I mean, every time that shrimp guy was like, gave him 4, I was like, no, give him a couple more.
He even had his card flipped over, and when the guy came around, he's like, here's some.
Yep. Dude ate some shrimp. It almost made me wish I'd upgraded to the #1. Paid the extra $8 to get the 50 shrimp.
No, dude, the shrimp was really good.
I had a couple of Teresa's. I mean,
I declined because shrimp, if I eat a ton of it, I'll just shit for days. I'll be puking out of my ass.
Dude, either you or Julie, one of you two, was blowing it up at the Airbnb.
It was Julie.
Yeah, it was
Sunday morning. I couldn't go upstairs. I'm actually happy that I was in the basement because I think when she was hunting for a bathroom, I was occupying the bathroom, and so she went upstairs, and it all stayed up there stewing.
There were a few times when I went in to brush my teeth, and I don't know who was in there, but it was fucking bad.
Lessons you learn when you travel with a group of friends, right there. Get the 4-bedroom, get the four bathroom Airbnb if you can.
So next time I'll have to do a little bit more research. I didn't realize in the pictures that they showed, it makes those areas where you guys were look like full rooms.
Yeah.
And then we got there, I was like, the fuck is this?
In the corner and like,
what the fuck is this? Because there was like a cubby. I was like, all right, here you go. Like, the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck happened here? So
really, I bitched about the bed quite a bit, but I slept pretty good. I think all in all, I mean, it's definitely better than how I sleep when I'm camping, which we do all the time.
That was one thing that. So after we went to Meat Fest, apparently, I cracked the windows in our room because it was stuffy upstairs, and with it being so stuffy, I was like, we'll get some fresh air in here. And then it started snowing, and I was like, fuck, it's freezing. I slept so good just because it was cold and I didn't want to get out from under the blankets.
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of cool waking up to, there was, 2.5 inches of snow.
Yeah.
It didn't stick to the ground, it only stuck to anything that was above ground. Yeah. But that was pretty cool waking up to.
That's what I expected in South Dakota, so.
What's up, Brady?
Taking the rest of it.
So it's pretty great.
Oh, yeah.
But actually being able to meet the people that we've been talking with for weeks and weeks and weeks and
our
months. Our
internet friends.
Was
probably almost a year.
Yeah. The first one was like, what, episode 12? Yeah.
Yeah. Bud. Bud was on the show virtually. Yeah. I'd never met him in person. I thought he'd be taller. Just gotta say. But hell of a nice guy.
Yeah. He was great. I mean, he was very friendly. He went around with us and, talked about his family, talked about his daughters. Apparently he's got all of them are daughters, aren't they?
daughters.
Oh my
They're
goodness!
all daughters, yeah. And I was like, he's like, I got to get out of the house for a while, guys. Can I come drink with you? Well, you can get away from the daughters and drink. This is gonna be a good night.
Did you have the meat sweats, bud? Did you have the shrimp sweats?
Oh.
Is the better question.
It was great. He was talking about some of the stuff he did. He did an orange dreamsicle IPA that he brewed at home, and I was like, oh, that sounds fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even. I would say I'm not an IPA guy, but that milkshake IPA is changing my mind.
In the coming years, I mean, if I decide, it's time to open a brewery, I'm going to be reaching out to Bud and be like, Bud, how about I just fly you down here? How about you just come hang out with me for
6 to 8 months?
6 to 8 months. Yeah, let's shoot for that.
So that I can learn your recipes.
I need to share real quick.
Yeah, I keep forgetting.
Have you shared, Chris?
No, I'm trying to get this fucking chat working.
Chris is working over here. Come on, Jamie.
God damn.
Make it happen. Let's see here.
There isn't a lot of chat to make sure chat is working either, so.
No, that was it was a great trip. It was pretty much everything I wanted out of it. I just wish we would have had more time. After we started going everywhere and meeting people and going to different places and everything, I was like, fuck, there's just not enough time.
Yeah.
There really wasn't. I mean, there was most of the day Friday, all day Saturday, part of the day Sunday, and then it was time to bounce. I was like,
thanks
we
for
just
the
can't.
follow, Jason on Twitch.
Can't just do it.
Jason who? Hey, what's up, Neff? How you doing, bro?
Jason Kohler69 on Twitch.
Ooh. But no, they were all great. And then we've mentioned Derek, we've mentioned Bud. Allison was
she was
awesome.
a trooper.
She was awesome, and she took the girls around.
Oh God, Brad's
hung out
spamming
with
now.
them, and it was just that was nice. She got all the ladies off our back and everything. And it was a good time.
God, I hate
Except,
Facebook. It's so difficult.
Hey, what's up?
/kick Brad.
But then, what was it when they got back on Friday night? This was after you got I remember you being like, "You guys are so loud!"
Oh my God, the girls?
Yeah,
they were screaming.
Oh, they were.
They were
drunk.
so drunk and they were screaming.
drunk.
I'm like, what the fuck? Turn it down, ladies.
I remember Derek giving Allison a cup of water, and it was in a little plastic cup, and she chugged it and then threw it behind her.
I remember that too.
I was like,
and then
what
the funniest thing was then she denied it.
What?
He's like, what are you going to do, litter? She's like, I didn't do that. Totally denied it.
It was hilarious.
Yep.
Loved it.
What was cool is when we were at Monk's, there was a group that came in, and they were looking at the menu and everything that was on the menu, and they were like, I really have no idea what to get here. And I was like, hey, I've had like 20 of these 35 beers. Let me tell you about them. And they ended up going with the, what was it, the raspberry lambic. I was like, that's a good choice. It's a little pricey. It's like $10 for 10 ounces, but it wasn't a bad choice.
Who made the Kentucky Peach barrel aged wheat or barrel wheat ale? Who made that, Wilcom?
Man, barrel. You had me at Kentucky Peach wheat, but not barrel. That sounds like it's too rich. Delivious? Is that like delicious and devious?
Oh shit.
I think we're gonna have to make another trip to Sioux Falls.
Oh, absolutely. He was talking about making it yearly. He was like, you guys come up during the late season, I come up during the early season.
Well, like, I want to go up and
Yeah.
actually have, like, 4 to 5 days. Because, like, we didn't do hardly anything in Sioux Falls.
Or
Other
we
than
meet them in Omaha, like we talked about too.
That could be cool.
Halfway.
Yeah, but, like, Sioux Falls, I bet you there's more Sioux Falls has more to offer than we saw by far.
Absolutely.
I think it's worth exploring. Like, we didn't even get to see the falls.
Julie and I went before brunch. That's why we were a little late.
Oh, you fucking assholes.
That's the background. We saw a little bit of it.
Did you take that photo?
No.
That's a time lapse. Yeah, that's a high-end photo.
No, I did not take that.
No,
Well, we were wondering why you guys were so damn late, waiting around on you.
Well, we made it halfway to brunch, and then she's like, "Oh, you want to go see that?" And I'm like, "How far is it?" It was like 17 minutes or 12 minutes. So we went, and then we were like 7 minutes late. I was like, "They'll be fine."
It's not a big deal.
You know,
And we didn't even get out of the car. We were just like, oh, cool. And fucking
Granite City.
it was cool, man.
You know what my favorite thing about their brunch was? It was the Chinese food.
What? It was sesame chicken.
It was
wasn't
sesame chicken
Okay.
and white rice,
Yeah.
and it hit the spot at the time. I didn't get the. You get some of the prime rib that they had. You just had the omelet.
Mm-hmm.
Was it good?
Mm-hmm. I was surprised because he barely put like any ham in there. I was like, and then so I did, and I was like, it's a tiny fucking omelet. I was like, it's so that you can cook it in a minute and a half. Now I get it.
Yeah.
Now I fucking get it.
Well, like I think we originally told them we only wanted 6 of those caramel rolls. Caramel rolls are kind of like cinnamon rolls in the north. I don't even know what part of the country. They probably call themselves Midwest in Sioux Falls, I bet, in South Dakota.
Well, there's a Granite City in Kansas City that does those too.
Caramel rolls?
Yep.
Okay, well, they were pretty good. I mean, that was kind of like just an extra thing that was kind of thrown into the whole deal.
Yep, I like them.
It's pretty neat.
Beer-wise, though, it's beer review time.
Yep.
And,
I don't have any pages tonight. It's just, we're drinking fucking Hydra.
Hydra.
yeah.
Dude, I did dig Bud's Hail Hydra shirt.
I really, yeah.
Yeah.
If we scroll the chat, Derek, when you guys get your holiday swag, which I wanted to buy another T-shirt, but I didn't have a chance.
Yeah, I did too.
He said, I'll text Lexington Brewing Co.
Okay, cool. God damn it. What was I
Sorry.
Review to review.
saying?
Review.
Hydra was really cool. Anyway,
Very bold peach. I like that.
Triple X IPA Wilcom? No, I've not had. Is it?
Yeah, we did. We had that at the Slime on Tap.
Really? By Blue Sky?
Yep.
I was pretty drunk.
Yeah.
Towards the end, I think we had Blue
I
Sky towards
recall
the
that
end.
you were.
So this, the beer that we have first is the Eden IPA. It's one of 2 IPAs that they brewed. The sister is, I think, the Lena IPA. They were the same base beer, but then they treated them differently with hops. One had heavy Citra. That's this one, the Eden. The other had heavy, I think it was Simcoe, Centennial, and Cascade.
Yep.
And we reviewed the Lena on Sunday in our little beer flight review that we did real quick in Hydra's Tap Room. But this one is
Which you can find on YouTube?
which can be found on Facebook.
Oh, is it on Facebook?
I think it's
okay.
Facebook.
Facebook.
Cool.
But this is a it's not sweet. It's a crisp, bitter, very hoppy IPA. I mean, I think it's definitely all that 100 IBUs. Even though I think they're not super harsh. In my mind, Jason has sensitive palate, so he might find them more assaulting to the palate, harsh. But it's not so dry to where it just like leaves your mouth, like a desert or anything. But
I would almost strongly disagree with you.
Really?
But I'll let you continue.
This is I typically tend to like the juicier IPAs, like the 7, which was on tap there as well. Just a little bit more fruit.
That one was only 27 IBUs though.
Yeah. It's just a little bit more citrusy, a little bit more juicy. But this is I'm not sure if we'd call this a New England style.
Oh no, it's not. They mentioned that because you said it like 4 times. You're like, is this a New England style? And he was like, no.
You're exaggerating, maybe a little, but I like it. I'm glad we got the growler of it. I will give it,
Brad, it's the Eden.
A
which
7.5.
was the number 2.
Yeah, there we go, Neff. Get them IBUs in.
Yeah.
So before you got there, which if any of you guys are on our Snapchat, I went ahead and said, "Fuck you, Tate." They have 4 IPAs on tap. 2 of them were 100 IBUs. One was a 98 IBU, and then the other was mid 60s.
Yeah.
And I said, "Fuck Tate. I'm doing all these. He's not here. Now I don't have to drink them for his review." And I did. I was actually very, very surprised by how decent all of theirs were.
IBU is International Bittering Unit, right?
Bitterness unit.
Bitterness Unit.
Yep.
Units.
Steven, units. Yeah.
Units.
100 is a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's bitter.
Bud said they're over 100. That's just what they put up there. So who knows how high they actually
Yeah,
go.
and Derek was saying if Bud brewed it, it's over 100.
He's like, why stop there?
But it was so it tells you how much of a pretty much inebriation butt whooping units. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the times it does correlate to ABV, but it tells you how dry it is, how much it has a bite in the end.
Bitterness is generated or is developed by hops, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely a component
Well,
of the hop additions
it's not
during the boil.
Always hops. Sometimes it's malts and things like that will do it too. But
Wrong.
malts usually get
You're
caramels.
wrong.
I guarantee it.
So fucking wrong.
Okay, so why do porters and stouts
They have
get
hops.
really bitter?
They have hops.
They don't have that many hops.
They have hops.
Maybe.
Continue with your review, even though you're wrong.
All right. Even though I'm wrong. So it's a harsh IPA. That's not in a bad way. It is extremely floral. I'd like to say that the flavors kind of balance it out. I mean, it's something worth tasting. It's not something that I could drink all night. It's not bad in this little bit of a setting, but I would love, love, love this to death if it had orange or lemon in it. It would go so perfect with it so that it actually gives it, like you're mentioning, a juicy IPA, so it actually gives it some of that juicy to it. I would absolutely need that to make this continuously drinkable.
Yeah.
So, for me, I wouldn't buy it, but it's not because it's a bad beer. It's not a beer that I would...
It's not your type of beer.
It's not. I mean, and I would hate to buy it and then add lemon to it and then fuck it up. You know, because it does have a very distinct flavor to it. For me, it's a 6.5. Again, I mean, when you poured me some extra, I was like, okay, yeah, sure. But I wouldn't buy it just because it is a very harsh IPA.
Yeah.
But it does have so many floral notes to it. I mean, it's all over the charts.
I miss you, Neff. You left me alone here with these non-IPA folks. So I'm left alone.
What are you talking about? He bought a triple IPA. What
Oh,
did you buy? You bought a single
But
IPA.
he bought that
see?
triple IPA when he was 5 sheets to the wind.
Yeah, when I can't even
5.
taste hops.
12 sheets to the wind.
Chris was so hammered when I got there. I was like, damn.
He was laying
He
on
kept
the bar.
he kept giving me these big old hugs. I'm like, yo, what up, buddy? He's like, I love you.
Yep.
You bought that, it was like a cherry sour, and then you're like, just pour a little bit for everybody.
Yep.
And there was only like
That was
8
cool.
or 10 people in the
That
bar.
was cool.
But it was all the way down, and the bartender was like, I can do that for you, man.
Oh, then he was drinking out of the bottle at the end.
Were you?
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
missed that.
this big like champagne
Less.
sour bottle. He just-
Less than a minute.
Did you keep that bottle? I saw it on the table.
Yeah, drunkly, and then I threw it away the next morning.
Aw, that sucks.
Mm.
That was a good time
I
there.
remember it being good.
I
But there
like-
was some old guy down at the bar, and he was like, "Cheers, man."
Yeah.
Like I was like, "I got you."
I really like that atmosphere.
They
there.
were really cool. At 2 a.m., that was a cool place to be.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have sat like in that little lounge area that they had, because they had like a fireplace in the
Yeah.
corner, and then it was just windows all along the sides and the front. So I mean, you could just sit there and in front of the fireplace, and they had like leather chairs to sit there and people watch or street watch or whatever. That would have been fucking awesome.
Yep.
Especially in snow.
I don't know what dictates a double IPA or a triple, but I don't know how this isn't a double-ish. It seems pretty harsh,
It's a great question.
but it's also delicious. And I think IPAs have grown on me a lot in the last 3-4 months.
I would definitely say so, because you've chosen a few, and I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, don't do this to me.
And I really like the citrus ones, like he's talking about. I do think like even a little lemon slice on the edge that you could squeeze into it, like they do with the Boulevard wheats sometimes. That adds a nice kick to the wheats. I think it can help an IPA out too, if you need a little bit of balance, because the pH scale, like bitterness is more of the base, right? And then
I don't know.
acidic shit is more like it can balance that out on the pH scale, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Go with it. Yeah, I agree.
Like, I think that's right. Like you put a fucking bar of soap in your mouth, it's bitter as shit because it's a base. So add some lemon to it. Maybe it'll balance that out a little bit. I'm gonna give it a 7.
Science, bitch.
I didn't buy the growler, but I probably would if we had this at like Blue Sky or something or local. I'd probably buy it every once in a while. I ended up getting the porter that we're having next, but I did buy a triple IPA that we may do next week or the week after. Who knows? Probably next week, so it doesn't go bad.
Who made that?
Monks.
That was a Monk's creation.
Oh, yeah, the triple IPA.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this a
Not
7.
Monks, Gandy Dancer.
Oh, really?
Gandy Dancer. Yep.
They just put it
But
in
that's their brand.
Okay,
Yep.
That's right. That's right.
So 7.
Yeah, 7.
Yeah.
Solid IPA. Not too bitter, but it's fucking up there. For 100 IBUs, it's not bad. Like, it's very intimidating. And I think I said that at the brewery when I had it the first time. I was like, holy shit, I don't even want to order that.
Yeah.
But then I did, and I was like, I can get by.
Yeah.
So
I was surprised that Altar of Ash, or was it Altar of Ash? Or
Altar of Ash.
Yeah. That one was a 98, I want to say. That was actually very tasty, but it also had
Is that the milkshake?
No, that was the one. It was the black IPA.
Okay.
It had some fruit flavor to it. Like, it had like dry fruit flavor to it.
That
I
milkshake one, we did that on Sunday, right?
Fuck
Dude,
yeah.
that thing was fucking incredible.
That was, I've never had anything like that.
So weird.
That was, never had anything like that. Milkshake IPA made with lactose as the sugar.
Miss you too, Neff.
Uh,
Yeah, it was strange, but in a good way.
yeah, it was like a milkshake. It was creamy.
I had the one from Wood Grain, the strawberry milkshake one. It didn't taste anything like that one. Then whenever I mentioned that to Derek, he's like, "Oh, it's because we put a shitload of sugar in this. we put the what was it, the lactose sugars, and then we put a bunch of regular sugar in it too." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool."
Yeah, that wood grain place is a blur for me too. Like,
really?
I remember Monks more than I remember wood grain.
I was never even in Wood Grain, so. But you guys were pointing out, like, yeah, we were there last night. I was like, oh.
And it seemed like I remember us being loud as fuck, but nobody paying attention to us. So it was kind of cool.
Yeah, perfect scenario.
It was a small place. It had a lot of people.
It was pretty packed.
Yeah, it had a lot of people. I bought some fiery hot sauce there. Got some hot
That
sauce.
was what Brad handed me out of his pocket when I first arrived. Like, here's some hot sauce. Brad, don't be weird. But telling Brad not to be weird is like telling a. Oh, you're just gonna leave me solo?
You have some in your cup. Finish it.
No, fucking hold on.
Finish him.
I can't be solo on the cast. What are you doing?
Oh, I thought you meant solo as in your cup washed out.
I got nobody
wash your own fucking cup. There he is.
With.
I am kind of red and warm from drinking this fucking IPA though. Like, it's got my cheeks rosy.
I can see it. Yeah. What was the Mexican place that you guys all tried to go to? Or Gilberto's.
Oh yeah, it was like Ponchos, but
Yeah.
more expensive.
So Gilberto's at 2 a.m. had a line out the goddamn door.
I said fuck that.
And everybody apparently in Sioux Falls that was drinking Friday night, Gilberto's was the place to go. And we pulled in, and it was like a traffic jam just getting in and out of the parking lot. And Chris was in the back. I was the DD for everybody since I arrived late. And Chris was like, I'm not going in. I'm just gonna stay out here.
Yeah.
So we bailed on Gilberto's, but Derek and Sarah and Jason they stuck it out till the end. We went and grabbed some Domino's.
Fuck pizza.
And we were back home and asleep before they got back, so it was well worth it.
We got back around 3. Which, a lot of that didn't have to do with the waiting. A lot of that had to do with us sitting around bullshitting with Derek and Allison. It only took us about 20 minutes to get our food. Guys,
I didn't hear you guys come in, though.
My breakfast burrito at Ponchos is like right under $5. There it was like right under $7.
See, mine was the exact opposite experience. Mine here is about $6.50, and there I got a steak burrito, and it was bigger than the steak burrito I get here. It was $4.50.
Weird.
I was like, man, that thing's awesome. Cool. That, and they have pico on their salsa bar. I was so happy about that. I was like, oh,
versus
I
the
pico.
shitty sauces that they have at Ponchos. Sauces, yeah. Pico, if they had pico at Ponchos would be get like 3 additional
Greatest of all time.
3 additional points.
Yeah, feel free to scroll for a while.
Yeah, I got it over here so I can scroll and see
So
what
this needs a hard pour.
Go for it.
Spill the
Tee it off.
fuck out of it.
it did not do anything.
Was the nitro ruined?
I don't know. You asked about that when they were brewing it.
Yeah.
This is the nitro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Let's see. I'm getting a little bit there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pour mine up high.
Oh yeah. Oh. I don't know if I had this one out of the Tapit Hydra.
I did.
I had the brother one. This
Oop.
one.
It's not doing it.
Ooh. So what? This is the Pagan
Nitro chocolate porter.
Yeah, Pagan Nitro Chocolate Porter.
The 9%.
No, I actually did have this one. I remember having this one.
7.7.
7.7% alcohol.
So both are in the 7s tonight.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's put the cap on too. I think maybe that helps.
It doesn't look like it's flat. I mean, you've got some, I've got some. I just think it requires that nitro pour from a nitro spout.
Yeah, growlers are always weird with me too. Like, I've had a couple of bad experiences with growlers, and that's why I always try to drink them young, within the first couple of days of getting them.
Yeah, that's why we did these tonight, because we were afraid of our growlers going bad.
Woo. Yeah. Woo! He's right.
Heavy going for that first one.
Yep.
It's dark. Dark.
So what's on the table for this weekend? Anything for you two?
I got a Modest Mouse concert to go to on Sunday.
Damn.
So I'm very excited
Which
about
show?
that. Yep.
Cotillion?
Yep.
Oh, I remember you talking about it. That's
Yep.
right.
I'm very happy for that.
That'll be really cool. I've never gone to a concert like that. My brother's coming down from LA.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that.
So I'm going
Your
down
actor
to the farm.
brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, like, looking him up on,
My wife is fired up. That's
yeah.
pretty cool.
It's one of those weird things that you,
Wilco, I passed out while eating ponchos. This motherfucker passed out at the Brazilian restaurant. He ate himself to sleep.
Yeah,
He ate himself to
like
sleep
this
in the
sleeping.
middle of a very busy and loud restaurant.
the restaurant was packed. And I pride myself on my ability to fall asleep anywhere. And guess what? You can just do this one and just
I think I probably could have too.
take a nap.
Didn't.
Especially when you're full from a Brazilian steakhouse. Yo, later, Neff. Have a good night, bro.
Have a good one.
Peace, man.
Modest Mouse concert, John.
Yep.
Cotillion in Wichita on Sunday.
What genre is Modest Mouse?
Like alternative, right?
Yeah.
Kind
I'd
of.
call him like an indie alternative, yeah.
It's not techno?
No.
No?
You
You're
like
thinking
Danger
Dead
Man.
Mouse.
Oh,
Or-
okay.
or- or
Modest
Big
Mouse. Yeah, I was
We all float on, right?
Yeah. Okay, Modest Mouse. I was totally thinking, yeah.
Oh, it was hilarious.
I don't think I'm gonna do. Well, I might go to Ellenwood and help my grandpa with some shit. Since my grandma passed and stuff, we got to get a car listed and like help him around the house or some shit.
Where's
Yeah.
Ellenwood?
Hang out with my cousin.
It's about an hour and
10 minutes from Great Bend.
Yeah.
Where's Great Bend?
West, southwest.
Southwest.
By Dodge City?
Okay, by Dodge. Okay, that helps. Yeah, Southwest.
Almost. Like, it's an hour from here. Dodge is like 3 hours.
It's
away.
only an hour drive?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's easy. That's easy.
Hour on the dot to Ellenwood, so.
What kind of car does your grandma have?
It's a Buick Encore, blue SUV, little thing.
Mm-hmm.
13.5. Only like 50,000 miles. That bitch is mint.
What year is it?
16 or something.
Oh, shit, that's new.
Yeah, it's
13.5. Hell no. 19. That's a new one.
I'll give you 6.
I could be wrong.
On the way back home from Sioux Falls, Teresa and I stopped in Lincoln and had a Craigslist transaction. It always feels weird.
It's funny how you said Craigslist transaction. Then you looked over at me and smiled, like you got a hand job on Craigslist. Like that's I stopped at a truck station gas stop, and
It's a 14.
2014 car
somebody
for
jerking off the
13.5?
bathroom.
That's a good deal, man.
Maybe
Only,
turn off the
only
lights.
50,000 miles.
Anybody need a nice car? Chris has got the hookup right now, and then you'd be driving around in a Buick.
Yeah.
Like a big pimp.
Might as well show a picture, huh?
But no, we stopped in Lincoln and we bought a trailer off of Craigslist.
He's gonna be trailer trash soon.
I'm gonna be building a custom.
Comes with the Elvis sticker on the back window.
Want me to see it?
That's not a bad vehicle.
Oh, that is the smaller one because the Encore is the bigger.
Enclave is the bigger. That's the Encore.
Okay, the Encore is the small. That's easily worth it.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a good deal.
Yeah.
Cash
It's
money.
always been under the carport and shit. But anyway.
I thought you were supposed to be doing this. Fucking terrible.
Let's see.
Your timer going again.
Southwest, if you smell shit, you've gone too far.
No, the shit smells there for about 20 minutes.
Steven's drinking.
Steven, how is it? How's that Shadow Walker?
Huh.
Out of Fort Worth.
That sounds good.
Yeah, look at Sarah. Sarah wants a new Enclave.
She's got the newer car. Fuck that. Mine's the one with the wrecked rear end.
Oh man, driving home Sunday night though was
I was
such
so
a pain
surprised
in
you
the
haven't
ass.
talked about that yet. So.
It sucks.
Let me talk about early in the season to be having to deal with shitty driving conditions while, especially like pulling a trailer for me, not for you guys, but pulling a trailer. It's snowing, it's wet, bridges are icy, and it's October. Early in October. Yeah, tough pill to swallow.
We were a couple hours behind both of you. About an hour behind you.
White knuckling it.
An hour 45 behind you.
And you came from the east, right?
Yep.
AC, yeah. Well,
So-
what they were talking about, driving 30, 40 miles an hour max.
20, 30. Yeah. I mean, for about an hour and a half, we were doing 20.
That and it was,
Damn,
and then
yeah.
once you got to Manhattan, it was over. So
Once
Manhattan
we got
slide
to
was clear.
Manhattan, they'd already started plowing the roads. And then also laying the anti-ice liquid and everything.
Yeah.
So by the time we hit there, it was just smooth sailing.
No, he likes
So-
the beer. It is nice.
What's your rating out of 10 on it?
Yeah.
Ooh. Wait. Give us an impromptu review.
And why?
So
Yep.
6 is six is I would buy it again.
6 is it's okay, I would take one. 7 is I would buy it again. 8 is I'd look for it. 9 is I would seek it out. The difference being is
Wait,
This
isn't
is-
I'd look for it and I'd seek it out the same fucking
that's what
thing?
I was gonna say. No, I'd look for it is like I'm already at this liquor store. Hey, if I see it, I'm gonna grab it. 9 is
You're asking the
If
clerk, where's
I-
this shit at?
no,
Okay.
not even that. You'll go to a different liquor store to get it if they don't have it at the one that you normally go to. That's the difference.
That's the 9. The 9 is you'll go to a different liquor store.
yes,
Huh?
yes, it
And
is
then what? A 10's like it's always in your fridge if it can be.
absolutely.
10 is I special order it.
Like my
Yeah,
like my chocolate.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
the Billy Goat. The Billy Goat.
Horny goat.
Horny
Horny
Goat.
Goat,
That's
yeah.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I got a flu shot today. That shit is sore. Chris doesn't do needles, apparently. Even though if you look the other way and you cough, you can't even feel the bitch go in your arm.
I'm
But-
alright, but it like
Dude's covered in tattoos.
it
Can't
makes
deal with the
me-
needle.
It makes me get lightheaded and dizzy and shit.
Yeah,
Like
that's
it's
that.
a phobia.
That's that vasovagal reflex. I think that's what they call
Really?
it. Yeah.
Like I'll almost fucking faint.
Yeah. No.
So I can't look at it when it's happening and shit.
It's a real thing.
But yeah, if I see it, I'll probably faint.
I get poked with so many needles all the time that doesn't fuck with me anymore.
Yeah, your rabies shot where you got like 15 stabs.
Oh, it was so horrible. That was one day at the hospital and I was just fucking miserable. Got stuck so many. I got stuck in every limb. It was bad.
What if you only go to one liquor store because they have all of them?
Well, that would be
Still a 9.
that's going to be Cave Divers South. That's where you go.
Oh, is that what you're doing? You're doing a promotion?
If
Oh my
if
God.
you have one liquor store to go to, you got to go to Cave Divers
That
South.
was a hell of a
They got the best craft selection in
Oh
town.
man, what was that?
Oh,
What
look at
was
that!
Oh,
Hey,
What were you saying about Cave Divers South?
they have the best selection in town,
They really do.
and they have the least snarky, but still.
You know, I do have to say that. So I've gone to Brooks now ever since we stopped going to them, and the staff they're not helpful. They're not cheery. They talk amongst themselves. They don't do shit at all. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I do mean that in a way of
Just looking at me.
they're about themselves and helping people's an inconvenience. For some reason, at Cave Divers, they love to help you. What do you guys drink? What do you like to drink? What do you not like to drink? so that I can recommend one that you might like to drink.
How's
What are you
your
guys
day
doing this
going?
evening? Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's pleasant to go in there. And it doesn't make you feel like I have a secret alcohol problem. It's like, hey, you're having fun tonight too, rather than like, hey, I can make craft beer alcoholics feel like non-alcoholics.
Yeah, that was like a pitch a slow pitch with a big old softball. Anybody can hit that thing. Better yet, just set it on the tee and let me just crank away at it.
No, but that is something that I do have to say about them. Even if Will and Neff aren't working, I mean, those are the two that we interact with. Well, I've yet to interact with Neff there, but Will is usually the one. But all the other people that are there have always been very helpful.
My favorite thing about Cave Divers is that they have the best assortment of props. Like, there's always some different beer company that
Like the
has
promotional
some
shit?
different gimmick
Yeah.
that they have in there. Sometimes
They
they have
sit in that fucking like
they
Jack
have the
Daniels
fucking
chair.
throne. Yeah, they have the
Evan Williams. It's
Evan Williams
Beach,
Williams chairs in the back. They had that Michelob Ultra bike that I thought about stealing.
They had that castle you sat in.
Oh, dude, the castle with the throne.
I
was
like
legit.
Oh yeah, the throne.
that cooler that they had a little while back. That thing was awesome.
Mhm.
Like that. And then I want to say from Modelo they had something that was cool. And I was like, oh, that's
I literally was like, hey, how do we get that bike out the back door?
fucking
Just tell them somebody came in and made off with it, and you weren't looking, and somehow the cameras bleeped, so the records are gone, and now I'm riding around with Michelob Ultra bike.
So that's what you should do. Did you get one of Joe's cards, the distributor for Crown? Fuck, that's what we should do. We should reach out to him. Well, what do you guys do with that shit? Can we
That's
buy
a good
that
idea.
shit? Yeah,
That's a good idea.
that'd be cool. I could see you getting that bike, and then for a whole episode, all you do is just sit over there on the bike.
I would put on a spin
Almost
class
fucking bet.
in that bike.
It was a beach cruiser too.
No, it wasn't. That was a hipster fixie.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different one. Then.
Wrong.
I'm
Wrong.
thinking- I thought it was the big yellow beach cruiser one.
No, not the Michelob Ultra one. Michelob Ultra was a little fixie.
Oh,
But it was a fixie with the flip side wheel, so you had the fixed gear and then the spinning hub on, but only single speed.
Gotcha.
Mm. Oh, so
Don't fuck with me.
it's up. Halloween's like week
2
and a half
weeks.
away. 2 weeks
And a day.
and a day.
It's on a Wednesday.
It's my mom's birthday.
Oh, all right. I don't know if we're gonna do anything Halloweeny. It's been a while since I've done anything Halloweeny.
I turn off the porch and hope the neighbors don't come over.
It seems like an awful lot of effort. But Halloween costume parties are fun to go to. I've gone to a bunch of those.
Yeah.
Those are always a riot. Oh.
You're not gonna host one?
Well, I might host one, but I probably won't tell you about it.
That's fine.
If you can keep a secret, you can come.
I'm good at secrets.
But don't tell Jason. If you see Neff, go ahead and shoot him an invite. Because
You just hurt my
Neff
feelings
and Chris
now.
can come. Jason is probably best off if we just leave him at the house.
You going back to Florida?
Are you moving, Welcome? I'm surprised work gives you that much time off.
Jacksonville, though, that's your place of choice in Florida?
That was gosh, what was it? On Ash vs. Evil Dead. That's his dream place. Like, if you could go back and we could erase everything and you just had the perfect paradise life, what would it be? And he's like, Jacksonville, Florida, where it's nothing but parties and college parties and half-naked chicks and keg beer. Like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Well, we got 48 seconds before the review on this beer. I think we can start it early if we wanted to.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a little bit more, actually. Oh, I heard a little bit of psh. This nitro is... Chewy, get back!
It's poison to you.
I think a nitro is just
All right,
a little
I'll
bit
have
harder
you
to
try
transport.
pour.
All right, I'm going to do the high pour.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah, let's get higher.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, that's not too bad. That's
Just
not too
shake
bad.
the fucking thing with the lid on it.
You think it's gonna
The lid on tight and
Make it
shake
fun.
Don't tell me what to do, Dad.
Fuck! Spill over my awesome carpet.
Look at that. That's minimum spillage.
Is that what you want? You want this shaken, not stirred?
Maybe some.
Dude,
I'm not going to. You can.
I'm gonna
shake it.
sound
It's
like a little
yours. I'm not
girl,
gonna
but
ruin
flu
it.
shots are so sore.
Should we shake the nitro?
Shake it up. Yeah, screw on that bitch.
One yes means yes.
That'll be Brad. Fuck yes.
You know, I have to admit, like, I thought that Brad was going to be just such a pain in the ass on this past trip. But I found him not to be totally repulsive.
I've been preaching that for a while. I mean, I've been on that bandwagon for a minute.
Brad was not totally repulsive.
He's not college Brad anymore. He's adult Brad now.
I enjoy Brad's company.
He's always been, I mean, he really did, after probably our last year and a half of college, he did a shitload of growing up, and has done even more so now. So I really appreciate him. He's become a much more close friend.
I love to stack shit on Brad, because Brad's such a little fucking asshole. So I have to say things like he wasn't totally repulsive. Obviously, I do mean it. Yes, Brad.
Yes.
There you go.
You better save this. You better watch this episode again. You better show your friends this episode. On the way back, his car, the check engine soon light came on, and it did end up being the thermostat.
Boom! Called it!
He had mentioned it before. Apparently, this was the same issue that happened a year ago-ish, but then it just, like, the check engine light kicked off.
Yes, do it. Fuck yes.
So, I'm putting this everywhere. I hope you do. I bet you won't.
So Brad, confirm, was the thermostat stuck closed to where it wasn't circulating through the radiator?
He didn't say. They just did the check engine at AutoZone and sold
Well,
the
his fan was running like a crazy person.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it was stuck closed or it was stuck partway open, but not all the way open. So it wasn't getting adequate
Flow.
Foamy as
flow.
shit now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nitrogen.
Get that nitro. Shake it up. What is that?
nope, still no.
Andre 3000. Shake it, shake it.
Oh,
shake it.
dude,
A little bit
you were
more
white
head.
as fuck.
Shake it like a world. You can't do that? Is that not
More
allowed?
aggressive.
You don't want to see my dance moves?
See, that's better than what was on this. That's quite a bit thicker. But man, whenever they when they poured this at the brewery, it was. I mean, I probably had just a sliver of the actual beer in there, and then the rest was head.
Yeah, and then they'd wait, and then they'd pour a little more. Yeah.
I feel like there are certain beers that if you give them a growler, you almost have to drink them same night. Like, particularly when it's not been bottle conditioned in this bottle, but it's been poured out of a tap and, like, artificially... Well, I guess I don't know. No, if that's out of a tap, it's a nitrogen tap.
Mm-hmm.
So, I feel like it's not bottle conditioned to guarantee that it has the carbonation that you want for a long period of time. So for something like that, I would try to drink it as soon as possible.
And this is pretty much as soon as possible for that. So
Day and a half.
I do think it has a different taste tonight than Friday.
absolutely.
It's way more flat tasting. It was or is my favorite hydro beer right now, I think. I'm probably going to give it a 9, if not 9.5. That's how delicious I remember it. It was my second beer when I got there. I know I got shit-faced after that.
Yeah, really.
But I had it after a milkshake IPA, and I remember it being delicious. It's still fucking good. And this is my type of beer. I like the chocolate peanut butter porters, chocolate porters. The shake was awesome last week.
Yeah, that was good.
I mean, these are
beer.
It's definitely not a fucking summer beer if you don't know that already.
What's up, Julie?
I hate that it doesn't taste the same. I don't know if it just didn't travel well in the growler or if we did something wrong. Maybe I should have looked up how to pour a nitro from a fucking growler or something. But
I just think that maybe this beer is just a hard one to put in a growler. Like, it either needs to be bottled, like formally bottled for distribution, or it needs to be out of a tap. Growlers are just one of those things that are just kind of
or canned with pressure.
Yeah. Growlers are just kind of hit and miss sometimes.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's not taking away from the beer experience that you have when you're in a tap room. It's just not. It's never as good, I guess. Hey,
I bet if we
Julie and I,
this
we
into
communicated
a
on a primal
and
level.
hard poured it.
We don't even
it would
use
foam up.
We don't even use language. We just use body gestures to communicate.
But that's a lot of fucking work, though.
Yeah.
Is that weird, Chris?
No, that's how he communicates with Sarah. He's always, "Fuck you, Sarah."
Yeah.
That's all they say to each other, and then they smile and giggle.
Caveman talk.
It's like have you ever seen Observe and Report? We say, "Fuck you, Ronnie."
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. They try to like go softer than each other.
So you got the review.
It's very chocolatey.
What is it? It's the Hydra. What again?
Pagan.
The Pagan.
Is their
7.
number 20.
Nitro Chocolate Porter, 7.7% alcohol. Yeah.
Second nitro on the show.
Hmm.
I think last week was the first one.
Which one was the nitro?
No. We had the left-hand nitro, didn't we? A while back.
Oh, way back when? Yeah.
Right?
I believe so. Because it tells you how to do their hard pour on the bottle, which was flip it all the way up.
Yeah. It's hard for me to say how delicious this is tonight. Maybe it just doesn't keep well. I don't know.
Well, I mean, what is your rating tonight?
And I'm wondering if I'd still give it a 7.5, if not an 8, but I'm gonna give it a 9 overall as far as taste and like how much I like it. But I'm also wondering if they sold it in 6-pack bottles, if this would be the
that would be damn good.
like if this would be the how it would taste.
So my quick comment, as long if I don't forget it, in the span of having it, is that as like comparing this to what we had last week. Last week we had the Guinness, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had a couple dark beers, and the Guinness just tends to be heavier. This one seems to be like it has a heavy flavor, but it doesn't have a heavy sensation or feeling like that is lasting. Yeah. So like you have a big full bodied flavor that is just it coats your entire palate, and it's coffee and it's chocolate and it's dark roasted grains, but then the after sensation, the after flavor that's left is a pretty clean finish, and it doesn't leave that lasting sensation of super heavy.
Yep. And I'm not getting overly full from drinking it. It doesn't make me go, God damn, I can't finish this drink, like most porters or stouts do to me. I'm gonna go 9, and I'd probably give it a 9.5 fresh out of the tap.
So she's Amy's saying maybe we should put it in a decanter to help put air back into it. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
We don't have any of them fancy fancy.
I don't even know what that is.
Appliances. A decanter?
Yeah.
Jason, what's a decanter?
Go for it.
Jason,
Don't they use it for wine?
I think my wife and I, like when we registered for our wedding, we registered for some fancy wine shit, and I think one of them was the decanter. And I don't think we've ever taken it out of the box. I'm pretty sure it's still in the bottom of my homemade liquor cabinet, never used.
When you drink wine out of a box, you don't need that fancy shit.
That's actually true.
Wine out of the box is so
you just
underrated.
Put your mouth on the nozzle and squeeze.
Play slap the bag.
Oh, you gotta slap it, right?
You just sit on it.
No, a decanter is to aerate your wine a lot quicker.
Right.
Because normally you're supposed to leave it open to aerate so that it actually gets more of the flavors in it.
Or you can
kind of
put
like
that
letting something warm.
that fancy insert that it then pours through and it aerates it as it's being poured. I had a buddy who had one of those the other day. and I felt like a fancy bitch just pouring my wine through the aerator.
But yeah, it might. See, red wine totally changed flavor. Yeah, a lot of bottled ones.
I'd
do,
like to demo that, like a before and like a one pour without and one pour with, and see if I can actually tell the difference.
Hell yeah,
that'd be cool. You're good.
So I had this also on tap. Like I was saying, it was nothing but head on here. Which at first, whenever I got it, I was like, "The fuck, you gave me half a beer," and then I was like, "This is thick. Like it is thick, like ice cream thick on top of it." And I was like, "Oh, okay." But whenever you're drinking the head off the top of it, it actually gives you a lot of the flavor to this. I mean, most of that was there, and it is because it's aerated. So it's like eating a chocolate foam almost, and that carried a lot of flavor with it, and a lot of the experience with it. I then had it again as it's mixed with, as he was mentioning, it's part of the Elvis, which is mixed with banana and peanut butter, and we had that when we went to Monk's, and it's also nitro, and that is also served with a copious amount of head on top of it, and it was great too, because that's what actually gives you the peanut butter and banana flavor to it, where the actual beer, God damn, that stinks. What the fuck did you eat?
You are welcome.
Oh my god.
Hot roast.
I was going to say, it smells like steak and salsa. Oh, fuck. But, this, today, it actually tastes a little flat. It doesn't have... Here in this pour, it doesn't have any carbonation. You can't see anything in it.
You have vanilla?
Which doesn't make you... I actually don't. I don't at all. I get a lot of coffee flavor out of this. And then hints of chocolate. But it's hints of bitter chocolate? Not like a sweet chocolate. Not like a semi-sweet chocolate or anything like that. It's a bitter chocolate. Almost like a baking chocolate.
Yeah.
I get out of this. Which doesn't make it bad. It does make it light, but now it tastes more like a porter. And... It's got that watery finish to it. So I believe some of the benefit of getting it out of tap with the nitro tap is you get the full experience. You get the head flavor to it, which adds a lot of notes to it, and then you get that finish, which kind of washes it away and preps you for the next piece. And this doesn't give that. Go ahead.
I really wonder if it kind of keeps the drink active instead of letting all the sediment go to the bottom, because it's almost like the drink is inactive as you're drinking it, and maybe, I don't know, if you get to the bottom it gets more robust. Maybe it's separating almost into different layers, and the top would be more watery.
Gotcha.
Because of heaviness or some shit, or viscosity. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But this, as it sits, holy shit, after you shook that out, there's just a shitload of foam in this.
Yeah.
But as it is now, it's not nearly as good as it was out of tap, which scares the shit out of me, because I got the Urban Legend, which was also nitro, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I like that.
Was it really?
Better go drink it tomorrow.
At least I believe it was. Now, I'm saving that for I've got a manager's meeting Thursday, which they put off last week, so it's this week. I'm supposed to have Bloody Marys in the morning, and then beer at lunch, and then this in the evening. So, yeah, it's going to be a good manager's meeting. We're not going to give a shit about yelling at each other if we're all fucking shit-faced. So, hoping that it goes well. As it is now, it's a 6.5 for me, actually. It doesn't have a lot of rich flavors to it, and the missing carbonation, I didn't think that I'd appreciate it as much. This really makes me miss it. It's kind of like I took a really good beer and I sat it down for a while, then I'm picking it back up after. Or maybe I put it in the fridge to go do something, and I picked it back up after. And I'm like, well, fuck, I can't believe I let it do this. And, well, I'm going to finish it because it was good, but it's not nearly as good as I know it to be. And maybe that's what makes it a 6.5 instead of a 7, is like, I know what this can be. It's not that now.
So I remember... it took me a minute to remember, but my first time going into Hydra's tap room was Saturday. and that was Saturday after we had gone to the Source. So I'd already had a couple beers, and
Do you have more than one there?
Yes, yeah, I had two different IPAs there.
Of course, there are IPAs.
And that was actually pretty cool. I've never been to any place like the Source. They have like an open community bar. So you go up to the register and you give them your credit card, and they give you they give you an RFID card, and then you go up to each tap that you want. You swipe or you just wave your card in front of it. It activates. You can take a little bit, and it only charges you per ounce. So you can try a bunch of little things and only pay a percentage of the actual cost that you would pay for a full beer, and get to try a whole variety of different beers, which was really cool. It was kind of confusing when we got there because we're like, what the fuck do we do? Because there's one lady behind the counter, and it's also a coffee bar, so she's busy making coffee drinks, and we're like, there's all these taps right here. I want a beer already. How the hell does this work? And then she showed us. I'm like, whoa, this thing's got LEDs. It's got RFID chips. It's super advanced. Really cool, though, as well. Really neat idea. I've never been to any place like that. High-tech bar.
Felt hipstery.
High-tech hipster bar.
But brilliant idea.
Oh, yeah, really cool. Like, you spend more money up front getting the hardware, but you spend less money on paying bartenders. And, I mean, you're charging per ounce at a whatever your rate is per beer, so you're still going to be making money.
So, the Source, if you're watching, when I had this idea, and I fleshed it out, and I talked about it, instead of having a person, there was a kiosk. And you buy it at the kiosk, but there's also instructions on what you need to do. So, you can get rid of your person.
They also the person is the barista.
Yeah.
So the barista is just doing the additional task of activating these cards so that these drunk assholes can go get beer in the morning or in the middle of the day. But so that was the first experience. Then we went to Hydra after that, and the first beer I had was this one, and it was
Wait, you say this one as you're tapping the Eden.
Sorry.
Okay.
The Pagan. Because I was up at the bar. I was like, oh shit. All right. I got like 40.
What do I do?
I got 40 choices. I'm a kid in a candy store. What do I get? And Derek came up beside me. He's like, oh, okay. We got this one. We got this one. And he's like, oh, this one's really good. And he was talking about the Pagan. And I'm like, all right, I'll go with that one. And out of the tap, I know it had a nice, rich, creamy head. And that's not been something that we've experienced at a growler, which sucks because
You might be shaking all the carbonation now.
it sucks, but the underlying flavor is still there, and it's good. I mean, the underlying flavor is still very good. I mean, carbonation does help make it
Not gonna pull a Tate. Spill beer all over your shit.
make it nice and rich. And I'm not sure why carbonation is pleasant on the palate, but I think it is. But that being said, this isn't a super heavy dark beer. It's got subtle chocolate notes. I think the coffee is very present, so I would say dominant coffee notes. But it's dry but smooth.
Yes.
And so
It has a watery finish. I mean, it's that smooth. That
Yeah,
has a watery
yeah.
finish.
I don't remember that out of tap either.
I would like
that
to.
stuck with you.
I'd like to try this bottled or canned and see what it's like then. My preferred method is not a growler for most beers, typically. But they're nice. They're convenient, and you get a nice quantity. I'll give it a 7.5.
Gotcha.
I have to say the IPA kept very well.
The IPA
yeah,
kept
absolutely.
way better than the nitro.
Yep.
So this is CO2, this is nitrogen, and that makes a difference. It really does. As far as a growler is concerned, from what we've observed in these two, because they were done within 15 minutes of each other.
But they were both drained out of the tap. And I mean, in this instance, it's kind of like pouring a 2-liter and then capping a 2-liter. In this instance, that might be very different. Hey, we've already burned through this gas. There's nothing left to this to try to do.
Yeah.
True.
That's the only thing I can think of for it.
What's up, William?
God, Tate is telling us about the first time. We all know the story about the glory hole in the janitor's closet, bro.
Gavin, you... Oh, shit, my mom commented, too.
She knows about
We've
that
been
time,
thinking
too?
about it.
I think it could be in the works, Ma.
We have these ideas and, like, thoughts, and then
We have the technology.
It takes us 8 months to fucking do something about it, usually.
You know, we could, I mean, we've been talking about it a long time. We could substitute, instead of doing a Tuesday cast, we could
I would love to do a live show on us brewing the beer.
do a live brew.
And then the next week, shit on it.
Well,
This
it wouldn't
tastes
be a
like
week.
ass.
It would,
Well,
it would
no,
be
no.
a couple weeks.
It would have to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
a minimum of 4 weeks. 4 weeks is going to, but, I mean, we could just, I don't know if we do it live, just
With
because
the brew process.
the brew process takes a long time.
We could
Just take footage and chop it up. Or something.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it would be live.
Yeah.
You could take footage, chop it up, make a video, and it would be us. Yo, we're doing an all grain brew day.
So didn't
that-
we
all
talk
grain-
about naming a couple? Isn't that what happened? What was the Tate hate? Was it a super bitter IPA or was it an Irish red? I can't remember. But I did say I want the shirtless shitter to be a chocolate porter.
Yeah.
I want it to be a heavy chocolate porter. It's got to be. So that's what I need in my life.
You just got off work, Gavin?
What?
What are you talking about working like an adult?
You got a job?
Adults work during the fucking normal business hours.
He works for
Gavin.
himself.
Jobs are for chumps, man.
Yeah. We're going to open a brewery, or I'm going to open a brewery and hire these guys as my employees.
Can I work in the kitchen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
all
where I
I'm
would
gonna
want
do.
you. And I want... Chris, where do you want to be? You want to be the bartender? Do you want to be...
Probably manager.
You can, I'll let you manage it. I'll be the owner.
Oh my god! If I
you
never
can
have
manage.
to
You
deal
can
with
be the
another,
chef.
oh, if I never have to deal with another employee, like this is what you need to do. This is who you're supposed to be. This is your job.
I just want to
All I
work
have
in the
to
brew
do.
room and then drink beer with you guys.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we'll have our own little private breakout space, and every hour we can come back.
5 minute.
Every hour we'll be able to have a 15 minutes out of every hour. We're like, sorry,
That's
No.
that's not reasonable.
15 minutes out of every hour.
Out of every
8
hour?
hours. How
Dude,
many?
You can
that's
tell
2
you work for
hours?
the state. You can tell you fucking work for the state.
That's 2 hours out of 8.
I run this.
Break.
I run this business. 15 minutes out of every hour, we go
No.
to our special bro space and we drink beer.
If
Okay.
you're running
Tell
your
me you don't
business-
want to work
And
that
they
hard.
keep
I
working
would.
while we do
and
this.
I would love to do that.
Yeah. Or
But-
just sit down and shoot the shit.
If you own a business, more than likely you're going to get 15 minutes a goddamn
You'll
day.
be the head chef, so you'll have other sous chef and 2 other helpers, and you'll be the manager.
Chef and a fried
And
chef.
if a bitchy customer can't wait 15 minutes, then we'll kick them out.
Goodness.
I want
I'd
to
work there. I'd work there.
I want to be in the
Absolutely work
brewery. I want to be crafting the beer.
I obviously have never worked in a restaurant. I cooked in Red Lobster for 2 years.
You
I
don't get
worked-
fucking downtime.
I worked in a restaurant for 5 years.
Let's see. What, between like 3 and 4:30? That's when your downtime's gonna be. That's when we can do hangouts.
What you don't understand, Wilcom, is how big of a deal this restaurant that we own is going to be.
It's gonna be 1,000 employees.
We will have enough employees to where they just know that 15 minutes at the top of the hour on every hour until that hour plus 15, I'm unavailable. Chris is unavailable and Jason's unavailable because we're tasting and doing quality control.
Better handle shit.
Quality control is an important part of the brewery process, and we will not, let me repeat, overlook
Clark can
it.
grow the herbs. I bet.
He's actually growing hops out of the farm right now.
Yeah? What
Yeah.
kind of hops?
I don't know.
I'd
have to ask him.
Oh shit! Can we get Clark in here for a brew? He made some delicious moonshine.
Oh yeah. Wilcom, in the case of that restaurant that I worked at for 5 years, it wouldn't be possible because I was one of a 3-person team, so it's not possible in that scenario. But in my scenario, we're 3 of a 30-person team.
Your scenario is I win the lottery, I can just burn through money.
Yes.
I have a brewery,
Yes,
it loses money every day, but
but
I gotta do what I want.
but we have cheap prices, and that's what keeps the local drunks coming in. We have just exquisite food because my head chef makes sure that we are serving a quality product.
Absolutely, I taste it all myself.
And when somebody gets mad, we send them home with 3 growlers because my manager knows how to keep people happy.
They don't know how to fire people.
There you
That
go.
ain't worth it.
And we pay our employees a living wage.
Yep.
We pay our employees $21 an hour.
Yep.
Jesus Christ,
Or
what
some
are they
shit
getting
like
IT
that.
degree for?
Or some shit like that. No, like
Happy employee, happy business.
no, like
there's actual research for that.
so like the Chef, which is my favorite breakfast place in
'Cause
Manhattan.
then you know if there's a unhappy motherfucker that ain't acting right, he just don't belong there.
Yeah,
It's
he's a
not the
shitty
money
employee,
anymore.
or he's a shitty
They
employee.
just don't belong.
But like my favorite breakfast place for a long time has been the Chef in Manhattan, and I have literally watched the same like 4 waitresses that have worked there for the past six years while I was doing undergrad. They're still there. They're still there for a reason. It's because that place is treating them right. They're taking care of them, and they're letting them get good tips, and they're paying them a living wage on top of that. If you pay your employees right, you treat them right, they stick around. So
Yep.
yeah.
I'm having more troubles drinking this the more we go.
Look at Wilcom. He loves the Chef too.
I do have to say, whenever I went there with you, I want to say I had the biscuits and gravy. The gravy threw me off. I didn't know what to expect. Don't they have like a cheesy gravy? If I'm recalling correctly.
Oh, I don't think cheesy. No, I don't think that's how I describe it.
Blues 8306. Thank you for the follow on
It was definitely yellow or orangish.
Coolio.
I just remember this was at the time where I was 110 pounds lighter than I am now. And I was like, oh fuck, I love every bit of food that I could ever get. And then I had the biscuits and gravy and I was like, fuck, I wish I would have gone to Arby's. Like it was but I had something else there. I can't remember what it was. And I was like, oh, that's not too bad. But I remember this motherfucker, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, he's about to go do speed interviews, and he's like, can I have a beer and a mimosa?
Totally. Oh man.
Yeah.
That was what was that?
It was for the
Career fair.
Career Yep.
fair at Bramblage in Manhattan.
Yep.
Dude, I'm gonna go mingle. I gotta have a beer and a shot in me. And if I'm gonna expect it to go like talk with potential employers,
The part you aren't hearing is this was 8 in the morning.
Hey, it's all about nerves and managing your nerves. That was a productive day for me because I started it right. I started with a hearty, healthy breakfast, and just like my father and my grandfathers before me, I started it with a shot and a beer.
Bacon, beer, and shot.
I don't know. Did I have a shot?
You didn't have a shot.
I had at least one mimosa. That's
Yes,
right.
you did.
And that's orange juice and beer.
Yeah.
I like to think of it as a shot of beer. Put a shot of vodka in that mimosa. Potent it up.
There you go. I wouldn't be against that.
They would call that a dirty mimosa.
I almost fired up that game that we play where we blow shit up.
Broforce?
Yeah. I almost fired that up for tonight.
That sounds really
I was
cool.
drawing a blank.
We could play Broforce after I get back from this business meeting, right there.
I gotta leave fairly early, so
I just don't want to fuck with it right now.
Okay, yeah, cool. All right.
Next week, bro. Next week, bro.
I'll get it rigged for next week.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh, and there's a spot in the couch. You better submit your submissions now for Player 4 on Broforce night. Also, it gets hectic. Also, don't Neff rage. Unless you're Neff, and then Neff, you can pop on the couch and Neff rage.
Also, it helps if you practice before you show up, or you'll get fucking left in the dust.
Hell, you'll get left in the dust anyway. Like, you can be the best at it, but more than likely, you're gonna get fucking left. So, no. That's what he did at the chef. He was like, we all have to go to the chef. I think it's just he likes to have a place where he can drink in the morning. And they were like, yeah, we serve beer at 8 a.m.
Not me.
That place, going to the career fair after that was actually really fun. There's all these places like, we need people to work for us. And I'm like, why should I work for you rather than why should we hire you? Yeah. And they're like, well, I don't know. You got me on the spot. Like that was always the best part.
Owned.
It was.
I think somebody just said some shit on Twitch.
Oh, there you go.
That's what that noise was.
Hey, it's a ding.
What's up, Luz? How you doing, man? Damn, we missed Jason's earlier.
Oh no.
Sorry about that, dude.
Jason. But he did like something.
He followed us or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sucks. I didn't hear it go off.
Both chats tonight have been shit as far as restream.
Yeah.
What's up,
They've
AJ?
been pretty slow.
Car sales never sleeps.
Oh my goodness!
Just got home and enjoying a Three Nations Brewing Mango Smash IPA.
Ooh,
I love some mango.
Yeah, we did the mango cart a few weeks back. That was very good. It was very, very good. And you know what was so great about that night is this asshole wasn't there. So that was so good. That was so good.
It's impressive that you remember that. We had this beer and Tate wasn't around.
Those are the best nights. I'll always remember those. Hey, I got to get drunk with my real friends. He does this to me. You see him over here looking pouty. No. This is all goddamn day whenever I hang out with Tate. And then Tate's always like, my wife hates you. And I'm like, I love your wife. She's a saint. Saint Teresa. And she fucking hates everything about you. You laughed the other day and she fucking hates it.
It's funny because it's true.
Wait, it's true that she hates my laugh? Is that what you're saying?
I've not ever heard Teresa say a positive thing about you.
Oh man, me
it's all
either. The only positive thing I've ever heard her say about me was, Tate, stop being so mean to him. That was it.
She's like, well, no, I can't even think about it. I can't even, she never said anything. Well, at least Jason, no, she never said that. Well, at least Jason's not as bad as Brad.
Oh,
that might be the best thing
might have been something she's uttered. Oh, I believe it. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, we pretty decisively finished off 2 growlers.
Yeah.
We kind of debated whether or not we wanted to do a third.
We have time. Let's do it.
That's a gallon of beer.
I would say let's refrain from doing the third, and just enjoy the first 2. And then save the next one for next week. The triple IPA from Monks. That'll be good. And then
Jeebus.
We're going to fill the other spot with
a sour.
Well, I think maybe we'll give Jason a one-off pick where he can pick our second beer. So.
Yeah, because you guys got to pick 2 weeks in a row?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
That'd
be alright. I'd be okay for that. And then if I have to buy my own.
Well,
I'd totally be okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, we could do that. I mean, because if I buy, I should be buying 2 6-packs. Mm-hmm. Or I could buy your... No. You can buy next week and be one off. And then I'll buy the next week.
What is right here?
Outlet with an extension cord.
Oh, fuck. I don't want to touch that.
Yeah, that's fire hazard.
Oh, man. You know what's crazy is you can actually see where on that cord all this hair is gathered. I wonder if that's like static electricity.
Ew.
That is weird.
Definite fire hazard.
Yeah. That's actually really weird. It's really cool. But
science, bro.
Oh, we missed a bunch.
God
I
damn.
gotta check to see what beer's in here.
Hey.
There's a Brooklyn Bel Air sour. Is that for dibs?
Oh, my mom's saying that Clark is growing Cascade and Chinook hops.
What?
Nobody cares what Jason's saying in the background because he's not on the fucking cast right now. So let's just ignore you!
It's Kansas Southern Wind hops, Clark's hops. Hell yeah!
So I hope Clark then takes the Cascade and the Chinook hops.
Fuck you.
And
shove some up Jason's ass.
Makes a hybrid between the 2 of them, and creates a custom. No talking off of the
Oh, actually,
green
what's this
screen.
Oh no, I have fucking
Oh.
beers in here, man.
Yeah.
That works. All right, so what's the news? What's the good topic this week?
News?
Anything crazy happen? Anything worth discussing happen?
Today was the last day to register to vote, I think.
I think you're right.
I already registered, so.
I just did today.
Have you heard about like
Really?
some of the
Have you never
purging
voted
of?
before?
No,
What?
never.
Didn't you want to run for office and this is the first time you're voting?
Yeah.
Holy shit. All right.
So I roll.
So tell me how fucked up this is. If you go online and you try to get a preview of the ballot that we're going to see on November 6th, so far I have yet to find it.
Yeah.
Really? I haven't looked.
They
Information-
make it a motherfucker.
So, no,
that
so-
when you go there, you panic or
Yeah, so
like, the
try
line's
and,
behind me.
try and figure out
I better
tomorrow
hurry.
what you will be voting for on November 6th, other than the most basic things, like the governor and, I mean, more than the governor. Do you know more than the governor? Do you know who you'll be voting for first district or whatever?
Or
I was
judge,
reading
no.
on Reddit yesterday. They said take a fucking cheat sheet and take a picture of your cheat sheet. So if you allow your phone there, you can look at it and go, "Here's everybody I'm voting for." Boom, 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 done. But if they don't allow phones there, you have a little notepad or a sticky note with your votes too.
But how
if
do you
can
know?
find it early enough? That's what's fucked.
And over the past month, I've tried to go out and figure out who's going to be on my ballot. Because, I mean, all that I know is who I see in, or who, some of the posters that people have on their front yard. So I've seen J.R. Clay's.
No.
I've seen
And they
Law
also
Police.
said if you're unsure, you can just leave the shit blank.
Yeah, I've
Some
left.
people don't know that.
I've left things blank before, but there's
This is
Law
my
Police.
first time voting, so
I've
I'm
seen
trying to do it
Morris.
right.
And I've seen Kelly, Orman, and Kobach. And I'm like, so that's like less than a tenth of what the ballot's actually going to be.
Yeah.
And how, if the information's not available, how do they expect people to have a fucking clue what's going on?
They don't, and that's what sways votes.
Yep.
It's the same reason, you remember a few years back whenever we had the, like, LGBT, whatever, law where it was like, hey, they have to be treated fairly. And then whenever they were doing the repeal, it was vote yes to repeal. And that's why a lot of people ended up voting to repeal it, because I worked with a shitload of people, and somebody was shaming people at work, like, you voted for this? And they're like, no, I voted to keep it. And they're like, no, you voted to repeal it.
Because the
Because
wording's confusing.
It was vote yes for this proposition. And the proposition was to repeal the act, rather than to keep the act.
It's fucked up.
Yeah. It was really... And what's worse is on those, it doesn't say, hey, if you vote yes to this proposition, it does this act. It's, do you vote yes or no on proposition... I want to say it was like 443. Do you vote yes or no to this? Well, I think it was to keep those rights, wasn't it? Or I think it was for those rights. That's what it was about,
What do
right?
you mean?
No.
Nate, Wilcom, if you can find it, tag us or something.
Yeah, or message it to
I've
us.
gone
whatever.
online multiple times trying to find my ballot.
I do want to say a guy I work with, Blake, he's been putting on a podcast for a couple of years, and we've shouted out before here and there. They have Broke Dude podcast on, what's the podcast? Stitcher
Oh, okay.
and shit. They were on SoundCloud for a while, but they had Melissa Hodges, the city commissioner here in Salina, on their podcast last Thursday. And they post every Sunday. There's pretty good information on there about like voting and
What's their podcast
shit like
about?
that. Broke Dude podcast.
What's it about, though?
They get around. They sit around and bullshit once a week on a Thursday. Post it on Sundays once it's all edited and all that.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
Can we have city commissioners come and drink beer with us and shit?
I don't know about drinking beer.
Man,
Like I think they drink beer, but she didn't or
that'd
something.
be so fucking cool.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it was a good.
When
it was
you
a
have
good
people that are
episode.
thinking about political office, you think about Brett Kavanaugh. He's not going to consume a drop of anything.
But she was
while
very cool and like,
Really, after all this talk about beer? What?
alive. No.
How much beer do you drink, though? I only have
Very
12 packs.
I took the fucking quiz online, and I'm not an alcoholic.
She was
I'm
very
at
open
risk,
about like
but I am not an
how-
alcoholic.
How the fucking the group of old heads that have been in office here in Salina forever still control it and all that shit. And the guys were dropping F-bombs here and joking about shit, and she was cool. So yeah, check it out. Like, there's a little plug for them.
Can we get them on here? That would be.
There's
fucking
4
cool.
of them, I think.
That would
We
still
can
be
fit.
fucking cool.
But yeah, we could do like a even if they
Collab?
don't want to get on the couch, like a webcam thing to where whichever one of them
Be
is
a
talking
Zoom
is
little-
live in the window, type thing.
That'd be cool.
I'll talk to Blake and see.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be nice. Wait, they actually do a podcast, not a broadcast.
It's audio.
Okay. That might work.
I've listened to a few episodes, and I'll probably start listening to them more often because they're pretty good. They just don't have the reach or marketing like us.
Are they better than us?
I don't know.
Fuck
They've
cares?
been going about twice as long.
Hmm.
They're on episode like 126 or something.
Yeah, that's commitment.
So, yeah.
Is it once weekly?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I've never heard of him before. That'd be cool to look up.
Yep.
They do a podcast versus a vlog. I don't know.
Vlog is a video blog.
It's a
We do a
show.
vodcast.
Live show.
VOD?
I call it a live show. Or beer
Live show. Beer show.
Mhm.
I say podcast a lot. Yeah, we do a beer podcast. I don't give a fuck what
It's all just a sound.
the technical jargon is. It includes video, not just audio. Whatever.
So,
We get drunk and Neff's puking in the back.
now that you mentioned that, not Neff puking, but everybody I work with knows that I do this show. And I imagine a lot of people that you work with do, and a lot of people that you do.
Mhm.
Do you just get random people like in your office come up to you and like, hey, I drank this beer. Have you drank it? And what do you think of it? Do you get that?
I've not gotten that yet.
I get that.
No.
No? Really?
I think since I put off the whole resting bitch face for a dude, a lot of people think I'm unapproachable when I'm really a nice guy, and they just don't want to approach me.
Gotcha.
And I think I put off that vibe a lot at work and don't intend to.
You're working.
Yeah,
what if
I'm,
you're all-
I'm
you're all
usually
business.
busy with
You're
shit.
working.
Yeah, I'm there to work, not fucking go around and flirt with 300 employees.
Do they have a button for that, like where you can? I have resting bitch face. I'm really nice. Like, is that a thing?
Put it as my wallpaper.
Get that as a tattoo, like a forearm tattoo.
No.
So no, it hasn't happened to you.
It's like, no. I mean, I've had people say, yo, you do that podcast, right? I'm like, yeah.
Welcome knows what it is.
So Amy's saying check this line of journal. I'll have to do that. I mean, I've been trying to watch the news in
Nobody
the morning.
gets that anymore.
Who do you think's going to win for the governor? Kobach, Orman, or Kelly?
I couldn't tell you. I
Are we
haven't
gonna
done my research yet.
Are we going to be locked into the Kobach regime?
I was just gonna say it's probably gonna be Kobach just because of how the state is. I mean, the odds are high. The odds are very high.
I know.
I mean, we watched with Brownback. He had 38% approval at the time, and it was expected that he was going to lose, and then he won like 56 to
It makes
42.
sense though. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
it was-
31 and I just started giving a fuck. It's hard to look how many people are 20 to.
I watched the governor
30.
debate at the state fair, and Kobach acted like a douche. So for anybody that's watching,
Because Kobach is a douche.
I've not met the guy personally, but the way that he conducted himself was so inappropriate in my mind. He's not a gentleman. I'm not going to sway you one way or another. I think both political parties are pretty well fucked. But
But
he left just the most slimy taste in my mouth. I could not stand him. I mean, I didn't
What's
think.
sad though is like anymore. There's not really an option for somebody that you
right?
want in there.
I didn't really think Kelly was impressive, though. Honestly, like I liked Orman better. Out of all the three candidates, I liked him the most.
That's why I think more people our age should run. Like, fuck it. Just run. And then, like, you can only do worse or better. And I doubt you'll do worse than these fucking old people that are just collecting a check.
Or who have done it for years and years and years, and don't change anything, and it's all about
Yep.
them, and they get a big
ways.
head. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be something, and a lot of the values that are carried, especially in this state, aren't for the newer generation.
Nope.
But it's so hard as the newer generation to fight against them. I mean, we are definitely outnumbered, but it sucks. It sucks for us to. It sucks to watch growth being just cut off completely because people are scared. They don't understand it.
She said on their podcast as well is she's the youngest one on the board or in the city like commission, whatever the fuck you want to call it. She's 53.
Oh.
She's the youngest person in those meetings week to week. Like,
But
having a voice.
But then again, it's going to be the same thing as so you go in there at 35, they're going to be like, this guy doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
He doesn't know a goddamn thing.
And they're going to try and be brash just to get you the fuck out of there so you don't come back every week.
Or try to embarrass you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who gives a fuck? If you just keep showing up every week, you learn more, and then eventually, fuck them.
But how many people can tolerate that? Or how many people
Not
think that they
many
can
at
fight
all.
it? And now imagine that the time that you have to spend.
But what's right is right.
Absolutely. But now the time that you have to spend, you don't have the appropriate funding to do. You have to do this instead of work hours.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be able to do that?
Yeah,
Fuck
that's
no, I'm not going to be able to do that.
Their meetings are at 4 o'clock on fucking Mondays.
Yeah.
So the craziest statistic about
They make it to where it's hard to do anything about it.
Absolutely.
yeah. Like when you look at the presidential elections, typically not more than 46% of people of voting age vote.
Voting
yeah,
and
Amy.
eligible.
Yeah,
Hell
voting
yeah, they
and
are.
eligible age vote. And it's because we, in span of like human history, or like human memory, we don't live that long. And so most white men have had the right to vote for a long time.
Yeah, he is welcome.
And because of that, we don't appreciate the right to vote nearly as much as other portions of the population do, I think. And particularly the younger population.
Mm-hmm.
It's just another thing we take for granted. Oh, yeah, we can vote if we want. We don't have to. So, only like during presidential elections, you got to imagine the numbers for state level and county commissioner or whatever. You got to imagine that those might be even lower than the presidential debates because they get less media coverage.
Yeah.
So what are the percentages of
they're
voting
jack
population, age and eligibility voting for those lower ones? Typically, it's older populations, like you said. This would be the first round that you have
It's probably-
participated in this.
It's literally probably no greater than 100,000 or a couple 100,000.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Kobach won the nomination by 400 votes. I think that was it, wasn't it? 400 before Kohler.
If you see how many people vote on a national level out of Kansas, a fraction of them are voting on a state level.
Oh yeah, Kansas isn't a populous state either.
Well, that, and I mean, we can poll the viewers, but also ourselves. Do you think your vote matters?
Very little.
Do you think your vote matters?
I used to not think it did, but I do.
I don't think mine does at all, especially in this state. I mean, if I vote against what this state is and who this state is currently, I don't believe that at all. I mean, we have big cities like Lawrence and Kansas City, which are very progressive and more liberal leaning, but this whole state is red. I mean, and I don't mean that.
Regardless, you're a percentage.
I don't mean that in a negative way either, but there's a lot of just stop power with red. There's a lot of stifling power with that. It's, hey, we don't want to progress this, and we don't want to progress this, and we don't want to progress social services, and we don't want to progress universal health care, and things that would motivate people to actually do better. We don't want to promote those at all.
Not if everybody has to pay for it.
Yeah, it's I want to work for mine, which I get. I do want to work for mine, but at a certain point, I'm well enough. If I can still contribute and it helps other people, why wouldn't I fucking do that? I mean, why? If 20% of my energy goes to helping everybody else and 80% goes to helping me, I'll do that every fucking day. Every fucking day.
Well, what people are so unhappy, what they don't realize is that if you're over, I think it's 35 grand a year, you're the top 1% in the world.
Yeah.
So you have something to be fucking grateful for.
You're the top grossing percent, but not.
You're not the 1%.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
That's a totally different spectrum.
Your lifestyle is very
Yeah,
different.
in the world,
Not
okay.
the U.S.
Well, even so, even in the world, so if you make 35 grand here, it's the same as
Regardless,
making
you're kind of comfortable.
absolutely.
We have it better than
compared
most
to
of the country.
how the
Most
fuck
of
you
the-
Absolutely.
could be.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
And
Absolutely.
but people still mope around going, "I need more money. That'll make me happier." Bullshit.
No.
You're just an unhappy motherfucker.
So, like,
For real, man.
Well, it's very true, but you
Pay somebody
also see
$45,000 a year. Pay somebody $145,000 a year. They're still gonna be a gripe.
so the happiness factor cuts off at
the
about
40 and
70,000 a year.
145,000 a year are the same bracket. That like we like to think they're because we don't have a grasp of what real wealth is. We say that they're separate. They're the same. That's working class population. Those are people that are working every day. People that have real wealth are people like Donald Trump that were born with $4 billion in the bank account when they were born, or more.
He's also way behind too.
He was born to a $4 to $6 billion fortune.
Yeah,
This
he
is,
doesn't
this
have
is
that.
beyond what we can even begin to comprehend. Anybody that's making less than $500,000 a year is still working class Americans.
Oh, absolutely. But there's
or-
also a direct
yeah.
correlation between what you make and happiness. But it does cut off at about 70,000 a year. After that point, you should be able to live comfortably. You should be able to have all your things paid.
Yeah.
You should be able to take a vacation once or twice a year.
That's a
You
lot
should
of money.
be able to take some time off work. Yeah, absolutely. But you should be able to live comfortably. After that, it doesn't increase your happiness. You can buy a better car, but does that make you more happy? No, you have a good working car. What does that help you? You can buy a bigger house, but what does that do? It puts you in a neighborhood where everybody else has bigger houses. It does nothing for you.
And around a bunch of more unhappy people.
It does. Whenever I worked at Assurian, and I'm going to shout them out, and hopefully they don't fucking shit all over us on social media, but whenever I worked for them, and I went through manager training, one of the things that they actually taught us was in order to motivate your employees, you keep them mildly unhappy. If you are mildly unhappy, you are a lot more productive than if you are happy. Because you think if you get to that next step or you push harder, you're going to get a bigger bonus, or you're going to get a bigger reward, or you're going to get something that will turn around. It'll get you that promotion. It'll get you that outstanding whatever. So you make people mildly unhappy. You make them strive for something, and they'll work towards it. And that's the same thing with the populace. Hey, a lot of people don't see themselves as lower class or lower middle class or anything like that. They see themselves as temporarily embarrassed or impoverished millionaires, because that's what we've been preached. Hey, you work hard enough, you're going to get there. You're going to get everything that you've ever wanted. You're going to make all the money that you've ever needed. Not, hey, you work hard and you die making $32,000 a year, breaking your fucking back until your knees don't work anymore.
Yeah.
But that's what you did, and that's where you worked, and they took advantage of you because you thought, as long as I do this job and I do it well, I'm getting a 5% bonus a year, or I'm getting a 5% increase
That's having
a year.
faith in your employer doing right by you.
And they
which
don't.
unfortunately,
It's more like
most of them
2%.
don't. Most of them are only interested in their own
2%
gains,
a year,
which is
and-
human nature.
But at the
Everybody's
same
interested in
time,
filling
some
their
of
own
those people
pockets.
sell themselves short, even though they're working hard every day. They sell themselves short and set themselves up for that,
But
for a yearly fucking ass whooping.
they expect their employer to take care of them. Like, hey, I worked hard for you.
Yeah.
Take care of me. And they don't know how to go out of their way and say, you know what, I increased productivity here 25%.
Mm-hmm.
I should at least get $1.50 an hour. They're like,
That's
hey,
why-
you get 12 cents an hour, and you're like, well, that's something.
Yeah.
I mean, it absolutely is. That's exactly what happens.
But it ain't covering the cost of bill increases.
No, not at all.
That's why I'm very data driven, and anything that I do well at, I go, here's the numbers of before, here's the numbers after me. Like, fucking, it's right in front of you. Data don't lie.
That was one of the things that during
I'm
the
very good at recording data on what I attack or improve.
during the recession, Kansas was hit like the least. I mean, not a
And
lot
that shit
changed
all
in
goes in
Kansas.
my portfolio resume, so I can show a future employer going, here's what I've done for this company, even though they did or they didn't appreciate it.
Right.
One of the things that happened during the recession was the company that I worked for, which was Assurian at the time, they had their most profitable years every year for 3 years. So between 2008 and 2011, which was the last year that my site was open, they had their most profitable years at more than $2 billion profit a year. So they did $2 billion a year. I did not get a raise for 3 years. I did not get a bonus. I did not get an increase.
Oh my god!
For I got two positional changes, and each one of those had a 50-cent raise that was with it, but I did not get an increase. I shit you not.
in the week that my annual raise was supposed to come, or annual raise does come, which was in May, and the week where they released earnings at the very end of April and said, hey, we had our most profitable year ever this year. Thank you guys very much. Blah, 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 blah. The next week, I had my meeting about my yearly. And they said, hey, we're not doing so good this year. You don't get a raise. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about right now? Hey, we're in the middle of a recession. No, the recession ended, and you guys are doing plenty okay. Why am I not getting a raise?
Prime example of crooked business.
And then they were like, you should be happy to have a job. I'm like, I don't feel happy to be here. So, no, I shouldn't be happy to have a job.
I'm going to watch a lot of YouTube in my office while you fuckers ain't watching, and I'm going to be milking that clock as much as I can, not actually doing work.
Yeah.
That's what that creates. That's the exact scenario. You get less productive employees because they are totally disconnected from the way that they are appreciated in their business. And their value,
where I work.
Their value is not being appreciated. That's a real thing, and they've looked at doing 32-hour work weeks in other countries, and they're seeing productivity increases
and morale increases, and those morale increases and productivity increases are in the 30% range.
Our morale at Vortex is so fucking low.
People milking the clock.
It's crazy.
I'm gonna go take a 30-minute shit that would normally only take 15 minutes because I'm gonna sit there and play on my phone for the next. I'm gonna sit, not shitting, on my phone for 15 minutes, milking that 15 minutes.
They do. They do.
I'm jealous.
They clock in 15 minutes early, clock out 15 minutes early for lunch, clock in late 15 minutes for lunch, clock out 15 minutes late. Like, just every day for fucking years. How much money is that? Because they're just abusing the system because they've been abused by the employer.
Yep.
But then if they get caught doing that, they get canned. When they're salty because the employer treated them like shit. Like literally dog shit.
It happens. It happens.
And you have those employees that are your best guys in that zone or department. You're paying them $12.50, but then you're paying this other dude that ain't doing shit $19 an hour, and that fucking guy finds out about it. But then he slacks off, and you fucking can him. What? There's so much of that around America, like in general.
Yeah. Well, that
it's been at every manufacturing joint I've worked at.
Oh, absolutely, and it will be. I mean, a lot of those places though, they pay just well enough that it's better than a lot of other jobs that those people can get, and it is low skilled enough for entry that it's, hey, you could work at McDonald's or you could work here and you can make 12 instead of 7.25.
Right.
But it is because we have a national minimum wage.
Yep.
So if we didn't have a national minimum wage, that's a lot of things that people would have to compete for. So what is the minimum wage that you can do? If we didn't have that, then I think that minimum wage would actually increase. But since we've established a low, a lot of places are always going to pay the low, and then they're going to have their competition, and then it's going to say, hey, this is a no-skill job. It costs this much. Hey, you want to be above that. This is mild skill.
Yep.
It's this much. So that you have the motivation. Hey, this might be 3 times as hard as the no-skill minimum wage job, but it's more money. But it doesn't actually equate to percentage difficulty to cost.
You get $2 more an hour.
Absolutely. I mean, it's something that you see when you get a promotion too. Hey, you're doing 50% increase in work, or
and
the
all
decisions that you make.
Responsibilities on you.
Yeah, or the decisions that you make affect
this guy
200% more of our business. You make 85 cents more an hour. How does that equate? It doesn't. It doesn't at all. And then once you realize, oh man, this person who's above me, who turns to me for questions and answers every once in a while, they make 2 times as much as I make. Why the fuck am I doing what I'm doing? Now, instead of me actually being productive in my cube, I'm saying, you know what? Fuck this place. Fuck this place completely. I'll do what's minimum and what's necessary to get by. And you still think, you know what? He's giving us 55%. That's more than everybody else gives us. Yeah. He's doing great.
Yeah.
He's doing great. When I would gladly give you 100, I would gladly give you 110 if you treated me like I was doing 110.
I'm very on the edge right now. And I told my boss a few weeks ago, I said, let me think about it for a while, and I want you to think about it for a while, but the position I'm in is not for me. I'm a worker, and I can bust ass and make good things happen, but I'm not a fucking, like, political manager as far as, like, the corporate manufacturing world goes. I don't want to be in meetings all fucking day talking about problems. I want to be the guy out there solving problems.
That's what I do.
And attacking problems. Attacking them. When a problem arises, I attack it right away. Not, I better go in this meeting, talk about it, and hope somebody figures it out.
See, that sounds more like a floor supervisor compared to a manager.
Yeah. Or just an R&D guy or something. Like, this product line is going this slow, or we're losing money on it.
Inefficiency engineer?
Find out why.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are big positions.
That's how I've always been. Like, I can find the quickest and best way to run something if I have the resources. Or in the time. Which the time is a resource, but it's like, that's my, like, ideal position.
You want to call this one?
Yeah.
Sure.
We're all out of beer. The beer is
I just
gone.
Finished mine. I put it down.
So let's raise our empties.
Oh.
They're empty.
Hell Hydra.
Hail Hydra.
Go out and vote.
For certain.
Vote.
Yeah.
Vote
Yes.
for change.
Do your research.
Vote
and
for change. Don't keep it the same.
Get
Vote
these
for the
old
change you want to
motherfuckers
see.
out of there.
I would say vote anybody that's currently in office out of office. Get new blood in. Anybody that's comfortable, get them out. Get somebody new in with new ideas.
Even if it's the same party that you normally vote for, or the same party that's in office now.
Sorry,
New blood
incumbents.
won't hurt.
Goodbye. Fuck you.
What's happening now isn't working.
No. Not
They're
at
too
all.
comfortable because they spend all their money and all their time trying to get reelected. Get them out.
Yep.
Get them out.
Get them the fuck out.
I'm gonna pull one out of Trump's card. Get him out of here.
Wasn't
Get him out.
it Thomas Jefferson said that nobody should be a career politician?
Yep, absolutely.
Like, it should never be.
I'm not sure if it's Thomas Jefferson, but that's a fucking quote I like.
Nobody should
Flip
be a
it.
career
Keep
politician.
flipping.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Rotate.
That should be how you make your living.
Later,
Night.
guys.